Hello friends and welcome back to episode number 16 of our Nova Roma Crusader Kings III modded playthrough. On the previous episode we saw Kylanius II guide the Nova Roma kingdom into new territorial heights. We managed some significant conquests in the north, as well as some expansion on the northern border of the mainland. Kylanius is now looking to create his own empire, seeing as there has been no contact or information from the Roman sphere for centuries. At the beginning of this episode, he has sent out a number of conversion requests to members of the Randolfica dynasty, demanding that they convert to the new Romanic ways, as well as some of the outlying family members who have converted to local religion. We assume most of them will say yes. If they do not, there may be consequences. But from here, friends, we resume. So, we're 52 now, we excel at diplomacy, our martial and our stewardship's pretty good, and we're working on our learning just now, hoping to improve the Roman culture and religion. You can see in terms of religion we're a little bit sporadic in places, but the new Romanic is starting to break through, and you can see that the sort of line of our kingdom is starting to convert all within. Up in the northwest here you can see that our holdouts that were Roman are having a bit of a weakening, so we'll need to maybe look towards that again. However, in terms of culture, Roman culture is very strong on the south here and on the Isle, as well as our little enclave. But our plan for today's episode is going to be to get the funds together, create a second kingdom, and perhaps create an empire. Again, I'll leave the floor open if people have name suggestions for our new Roman empire and our new Roman kingdom we're going to create. The options are endless. But we're going to let time resume, hopefully get some money together, and we're going to do our utmost to create an empire. This young vassal has decided not to convert. You can see one of our courtiers has, and we've got a ransom here, ×2. So that's immediately taken us out of debt. Here, one of our outlying family members. She is, I believe, up in the north. Yep. She's within you. Oh no, she's to the north of you, sorry. She's converted. We have actually also demanded that Germanicus, there he is, our dear uncle, has embraced the faith. He was of Old Romanic, so that's a good situation we find ourselves in the northeast. There's probably another 5 to 10 conversions we'll need to see if they come in. Our charming liege. So one of our vassals is coming in to bend the knee. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of Comitessa Shodamante, who is soon announced and ushered before me. She kneels in deference, offering nothing but her oath to faithfully serve as a vassal of the regnum. She stumbles awkwardly the court... Okay, so she's not of our religion. She's struggling to say anything. I think we're arrogant. We're of our Roman religion. I think we would tell her that she was a shambles and she's becoming the graceful. Excellent. Inspiration realise. My lord, my beneficiary Biabi smiles and gestures me over with ink-stained hands. My book, my masterpiece is finished. Behold, the Roman Sacred Chronicles, plus prestige and plus learning per month. That fits in excellently with what we're trying to do, and what we can also do is go into the court tab. And we could maybe put it out, but what do we replace? That's giving us extra piety a month. They both are, actually. Looking at this, I think they might actually be better than this. Although the monthly learning just now is kind of hard to argue or debate with. In the county of Campania, they believe in Shaivism, and they do not pray to Saturn. Commes Galenius condemns it as heresy, but the people ask for understanding. Yeah, I think they will have to pray to the gods. We're trying to bring everyone over on side and try and secure the future of the Roman Empire down here. The new champions are beginning to arrive. I actually also checked something interesting. If you folks recall, our wife's family were what basically retained us the kingship of the Nova Roman kingdom. And I was looking at her siblings in the line of her family, and there's only her and 2 of her sisters remaining. Now, if you recall, her brother was at one point the old king and ruler of Pala. You can see now that his son now holds the title. And I do keep wondering if we should be looking to perhaps support him a bit more. But he does not particularly like us. And there's very limited options on what we can actually do. We could try and negotiate an alliance, but that's not going to happen. Twist is right. Okay, someone who's apparently a rival's dead. Can't say I'm familiar with the name. Seems to be quite a common occurrence in Kylanius II's life. All these great rivals dying and having no recollection of who they are. Okay, we have a betrothed can marry message. So this is our son. And is this not his Varangian woman? No. Oh no, this is our son that we're marrying for an alliance. To try and secure our sort of future here. So I've got to say that the people up in the north in the mountains have been very, very friendly with us. And if you look at the expansion of their land, everything between here sandwiched, and I would say was in reinforcing distance if we wanted to declare any wars. We also have a new learning perk available. So what do we want to go for? Theologian or Whole of Mind? I think we'll go for Zealous here. Want to try and keep converting. So we've got 4 months left to convert the county of Isthmium. Everyone else is currently at work here, so that's good. And we have managed to befriend Duke Kakura of Maru. Now, the reason I am befriending him is because he is our largest vassal here and holds a massive swathe of land. So my hope is that we could befriend him and then perhaps demand his conversion, which looks like it may work. Cross our fingers. I've decided to follow you. Excellent. That's a big move for us. That's now one of our biggest vassals up in the northwest. 2,000 men of his own has now converted. Big deal there. I spent many nights looking up the night sky, tracking the old celestial bodies. We have suspicious of others, minus diplomacy, which we can afford, and some extra intrigue. We have converted the faith in Isthmium. If you look at the religious map, we've got a little bit of a holding. Got a little bit of a holding there on our core provinces. I think we'll continue converting here. This is definitely our priority, bringing all of the Isle, the Holy Isle, back to our hands. Fascination discovered. Royal prerogative. Wait a minute. We can now enact high crown authority. Did we want that? The direct vassals are going to like us -10. I think it's the natural step towards becoming an empire, so I think we're gonna pass that law. I think that's going to be good for the future. We just might need to be careful. We're probably going to also need Rex Kylanius II to rule for a wee while, just to try and... Oh wow. Hereditary is now done. This is very good timing. Right, so we're now working on hereditary rule. We don't want partition law. We really don't want that. I honestly think, looking at this, we're going to go back and we're going to go for elephantry. I'd love to get war elephants as something we can access. Here we can hold court. I don't see why we wouldn't. So we'll usher in once again the plebeians. Settling the Kannada. My lord, I present the Kannada people of the county of Vatapi, states my guest Marada. We are devoted and faithful subjects, but our land is poor, underdeveloped, and scarcely populated. Please allow us to recolonise it, and to demonstrate it according to our traditions. Under your benevolent protection, our land can still prosper, and you shall gain a new faithful vassal. Very well, you can populate the county of Vatapi for me. I mean, I think if we are going to gain this here, I think we would allow them to do so. I think we're very much allowed to do that. Open carry. 2 of my vassals are pushing one another and jostling to reach my throne first. Commies Licinius bows before me. Right, looking at this, I think last time we settled this with... Yeah, we settled this with a duel. I don't see why we would change that now. So we'll allow them to do so once again. A weapons ban is instituted throughout your cities. That's an interesting one this time. A new arrival to my court today is Naivarman, I think. An envoy from my acquaintance. I'm not even going to attempt that one. Rex Kylanius, it has come to the attention of my liege that you are harbouring... Rex Kylanius, it has come to the attention of my liege that you're harbouring an individual of particular interest. Maladadevi... I don't know who you are. She's our court artificer. Disguised Delcash is... Who are you? Oh, I didn't mean that. Oh well, that was a misclick. I mean, I guess Kylanius made a mistake. This is too funny here. Okay, we need to take a moment just to really take in the moment, right? So, Komatisa Kunkadevi, I think it is. She is a gout-ridden dwarf who's irritable, a torturer, and an intricate web weaver, who's also, may I add, our marshal. There she is in all of her glory, looking absolutely fantastic. I'm sure we would all agree. But for that, court is done, and we continue. Servant of Honesty. I was shocked when I caught Manukia trying to steal from the travel chest of the visiting Duke Titius. She confessed she thought she could get away with it, but now knows it was wrong. So she is a fairly balanced character. Her education focus currently, let's go for intrigue. And let's try and tell her that deceitful. She seems to excel at intrigue, so we'll try and encourage her in that endeavour. I have arrived in Nextria to pay homage to you. I mean, I welcome any financial support at this time. Commies Alexander has taken the knee, and we are telling him he must serve us well. Now we're approaching the gold that we needed, so if I'm not mistaken, we can now create the duchy title. We just need to create another kingdom. So these are our kingdom options. I think we'll probably end up creating Andorra here. So to create that, it's 150 gold, which means we are now able to create the new Roman Empire. So I think we'll create this kingdom title. We then hold this in our hands, and then we will create a Roman Empire title. The Deccan Empire is what it's currently being called. You're now a mighty imperator. This is quite a historical moment for the Randolfica dynasty. As you can see, we are now Imperator Kylanius of the Deccan Empire. As previously stated, we will open this up, and if anyone has a suggestion for a better name for our empire, I welcome it. Please leave it in a comment. We can talk about it. We can decide which one is best serving us going forward. But for now, we will be the Deccan Empire. Our crown authority is at level 3. I imagine there may be a little bit of turmoil just now and perhaps some intrigue unveiling at court, so we'll need to wait on that. But I think if we zoom out, we'll agree that this looks very good. I think naturally the first decision we should make is choosing our new colour. Now I think we all agree what makes the most sense is a lovely dark red. A lovely dark Roman red. I think that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Very fitting, I would say. I think Kylanius II, with the creation of the new Roman Empire here, would look towards the last enclave. His friend, Duke Valens III, one of the only Valens that hasn't ended up being an idiot of some description or infirm. He will not accept our offer of vassalage, so I think the only thing we can do at this point is attack for Antonius Scotrum's claims, and I think we'll attack for the county of Socotra and try and take it for him. We'll look to raise our troops here on the island and hopefully try to cut down on our travel time. So once they're all ready, we'll travel straight over, we'll get landed, and we'll try and make light work of them. My unquenchable pursuit for knowledge has brought me to discover a strange old text. The volume, attributed to an ancient theologian only rarely referenced in official sources, brings light to certain aspects of Romanism that I had no idea belonged within the faith's dogma. So we can ask for help, we can study it in private, or the heretical faith should burn. I think we will study it. Yeah, I think we'll study this. Now, interestingly, the chap that we're about to have this fight with has called allies into the war, which I think it's fair to say I did not expect. I wasn't aware that he'd actually have any allies. I thought he was very isolated here. But we're going to take the fight to him. We'll see what he's able to do. So interestingly, he has managed to muster 1,300 men. Also interestingly, he has 3,500 men that appear to be coming in as an ally. So we're actually going to have a very large battle in our hands here. What I think we're going to do is take the fight to them, hopefully before they land and get the battle started. And some other woman who's apparently a rival has died. This seems to be a very regular thing in Kylanius' life, as I was saying towards the start. So I dare say the battle to decide pretty much the outcome of this war is well underway. And Alexander Randolfica is very much making up for his historical namesake. Here we've routed the enemy, they do not have far to retreat, and we managed to capture a load of enemy combatants. We are in debt, so this could make this a little more interesting in terms of an outcome. But they're coming back at us. You can see that we're getting to a point now that retinues are playing a very large part, like a very, very large part here. Fortunately for us, we have Commies Decimus, who has 45 commander advantage. That is insane. And here we've dispatched of their troops once again. We have, in the midst of this war, also converted another county to religion. And we'll go back over here and look to continue converting the Holy Isle back to our new reformed ways. They're attacking us again. I mean, I respect their commitment. They're just slowly dwindling their numbers down. They're giving us a little bit of extra war score every time, which is fine with me. I think we'll go for a religious icon here. I mean, not reading too much into what actually is involved with being a religious icon, I think we'd all agree that Kylanius II has very much been a religious icon. He's reformed the faith, He's very much took it into the forefront in this region as a dominant religion. They are just slowly attacking us, just dropping their numbers, and we are perfectly okay with that. The supply here is terrible, so I think we will slowly lose men. It's earned her the respect of many, often called one to adjudicate disputes. She is perceived by many as embodying the spirit of divine justice that is so central to Romanic dogma. Excellent. Romanism's fervour has just constantly been increased. Our champion commies Lusunius has... Wait, the Gordians, that's a familiar name. I think we've previously had them as commanders on our service. I'm almost 100% sure of it. Here thought once the siege is over, the game's a bogey here, and this will be under our holdings. A Roman book about... I see Roman book about books after the siege of Tamrida. This is Tamrida. Is this history and time? We can ransom here. I'm gonna do so before this ends, and then we'll look to end the war. So we enforce our demands. Thank you very much. We disband the troops, and we now have all of the Roman enclaves under our control. We have united the Roman people in this area. Here, as you can see, he's old Romanic. Well, I'm sorry, but that simply won't do. We will be demanding your conversion. Commes Antoninius, you will be converting to our ways. Blessed be Saturn indeed. Here I think we'll modify his contract, and I think what we'll do is we'll demand some more taxes from him. And once he comes together, he should be able to pay that. Distrust of friendship. I feel a sharp twinge of jealousy in my chest as I look over to the source of laughter. It's a feeling known to me, yet it's unlike me to feel this way. I now ought to be thankful that our guest Vivarama appears to get along well with the Imperatrix, Bishras Devi of Deccan Empire, but there's something on how the two interact that worries me. Their smile... Okay, I don't need to read anymore. I think we'll put a stop to whatever... I mean, we're very quick to act. I think we would just put a stop to whatever's between them. The spike of interest in each other peters out to how it was before. Excellent, so we actually made the right decision for a change. Okay, there's a load of titles that can be created, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, we're going to look at the kingdom, so it's down in this region, and we need to decide who we want to give it to here. So Dux Lucius very much likes us. He's also probably got the most dominant area in terms of holding here. I think it makes the most sense to give him the Regnum of Andra. So we'll grant that to him. We're taking a little bit of a gamble here, trusting someone like that, but I think it had to be done. Holding 2 kingdom titles was only going to make all of our vassals resent us. I think Kylanius II's probably one of his biggest worries now would be what will happen once he dies within the empire to his land, and will it fracture, will it split apart? The potential Kylanius III here, he's now 33, he's making a name for himself as a bit of a diplomat. He does have a few children. We've got Kylanius IV possibly here. This is our grandson. Interesting. So the future looks pretty secure, I would say. Flavianus comes of age. I'm proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult. So Flavianus is a martial-based character. That's good to see. We'll find him a spouse. He is brave, just, and chaste. So if we have someone even remotely matching his personality, then again, we wouldn't exactly be marrying a child that was so far down. We seem to have very good relations with the Katyuri kingdom. So I think we'll continue that. We'll marry him up to someone in the north. And then Flavianus can go make a name for himself up there. His intrigue is terrible. Like, 0. That is absolutely woeful. So it'll be interesting to see how he lasts up there. Your nephew Rex Germanicus has created a cadet branch. A call to war from the Katyuri kingdom to the north. I honestly think we will accept this, and what we'll do is we'll just raise our personal guard. We'll raise them as close as we can here, and we'll raise all of our men at arms and send them north to help. Alexander Randolfica's dead, our nephew. He's no longer our court musician. That's kind of sad. We'll send our elite men at arms to the north here, and we'll look to try and help out our ally in his war. I think we'll dispatch them up here and see if we can actually help him take on some of his enemies in the field. I also here notice that we have space for another men at arms, and we can increase some of the sizes here. This one strangely is too large, which I've never seen. In fact, most of them are too large. So I think what we'll do is, whilst we have the money, we'll increase that as much as we can in size. And we'll allow that to progress. We've also once again managed to convert the faith, which is excellent. And again, very standard, but we're just trying to convert the Isle over to the Nova Romanic faith. We have a new learning perk available. That's excellent. A prophet. Yes. Minus 50% reformation cost. I wish I'd known that earlier. Minukia comes of age. Our daughter has came to an age. She's now a woman. And she is very much an intrigue character. But I'd say she's quite a steady build. Content, deceitful, and also humble, which is a very strange combination. I think the fact that we can now marry into the Katyuri kingdom at the ruler level is something that I'll probably look to do. I know we're already allied to them, but the fact that we can marry in at such a high level, I think we'll accept that. I think that's perfectly okay. Your counsellor Justin has died. Oh, that was our spy master. So here we have Dukes Titus the Impaler. Definitely seems to like us, so that's fine with me, appointing him as essentially to watch our back. We have victory in the war. We've helped our ally. We've done a good thing. We've also converted another. This is just flying out the door here. This whole isle's just coming over. We're going to hold a mystical commune here. And I think what we'll also do is host a grand feast. The first as an empire, may I add. A cheery gathering at the feast, and we had a successful commune with Saturn. Our guests depart and we had a successful feast, 150 prestige, and they gained 20 opinion for 10 years. Excellent. I think at this point we'll just call a hunt as well. We'll go for all the social goings-ons. My vassal Commies Florian is the first to see it. The flighty heart is hard to distinguish from its surroundings, but is observing us through the undergrowth. We're going to ride it down and chase it. My world narrows to the nature surrounding us as we follow the heart and its escape through a ravine. Riding side by side with Commies Florian, I can hear the thunder of hoofs, dogs barking, men shouting. Excitement flows through me as we slowly gain on our quarry. We press on. I know that it is a killing shot before the arrow even finds its target. As the heart stumbles and falls, we drown out its wails with shouts of victory. A good kill. And we return home reinvigorated. Okay, looking, we should probably go help our ally to the north again. I think once again, similarly, we'll probably look just to send our men at arms. So we'll get them raised and we'll head up to the north. Our marshal, our angry dwarf character, our irritable dwarf has finally died. And here we could put in our son and vassal. I think we'd probably choose him over Decimus. I think it makes more sense. So Sienus is in there. The game also very much wants us to hold court again, but I think we're going to leave that for now. And we're going to head our army north, see if we can maybe head them off. I fancy the chances of our commander here. Now, we're getting a lot of warnings about dangerous factions here. So there's someone wanting independence here. I don't see anyone that's actually close to rivaling our power. There's a Liberty faction here. I think what we might do is demand a load of conversion here. See if there's anyone that might accept this. I'm just going to risk it with them. It's no skin off our back if they say no. The quicker they revolt, the quicker we can deal with them, really. Pay 245 gold. Absolutely not. We're not going to pay for any. And one of them has converted. Commies Venkapathi of Sagar. He is actually in the heart of our territory, so that's a very good move. Very happy with that. And I think we're going to send our army. As much as they're outnumbered, we're going to try and head them off. They're coming to attack us on our lands, which I find interesting. I think here we'll naturally go for clerical justifications. We're going to try and go down here towards Theologian. We'll see if we can make our way down there. We're very much chasing them down. Whether we catch them or not is a different story. Looks like we might actually be able to pin them in here. And here we're absolutely bringing them down. I think this commander, this is Commies Decimus. He's doing some pretty serious work here in this war. So we've just knocked that army back for our ally. I think what we'll do now is we'll go siege some of the attackers. And then here we have yet another dynasty legacy here. Now, again, really thinking about what Kylanius II has managed to achieve here. He's now created an empire, a Roman Empire. He's reformed the religion. I'm looking at all of this here. It's either blood, erudition, or glory. I think these are the three that we've went for. I think blood probably makes a lot of sense here, so I think we'll probably take noble veins here. We have very much been careful with who we marry and made strong decisions on that front. Here we let time play. We're going to continue trying to help our ally in the war. Comites Tarsilas became our spy master. This is the daughter. What's happening here? The daughter of our previous infiltrator on the council, who was a dwarf. Her dwarf and adulterer of a daughter has now infiltrated her way onto the council as well. There seems to be nothing we can really do there. We've also converted another county, which is excellent. So we'll continue our conversion process in the south. We've almost got the full of the Isle back over to our ways. The reformed ways. We've just became a herbalist. So we've got intrigue learning bonus and a disease resistance bonus. We're 60 years old and our health is now poor, so we might have to be careful on that front. I notice our son, Magnus, has learned, I think, 2 or 3 languages. We've got threats of a revolt here, and I think naturally we're going to have to remind the peasants of who they are and what they're here to do. So we're going to have to rally the troops against them. We've also finished converting another county to our cultural ways. So Roman is really spreading down here. Really spreading. I think we might try and get a stronghold in here, so I think we'll go for Congo here. I think that makes sense. Okay, here we've helped them out in their war as much as I dare. This revolt is 700 men from what I can tell, so what we're going to do is raise as many troops here as we can. I reckon we're probably going to need about 1,500, 3,000. 3,000 ought to do it, and then we'll send them over there. I think we'll command our own troops here and try and take out this this attempt against us. We'll send the main body of our army towards our allies' holdings here and see if we can help them out. Outliving a child. Caesarissa Petronia has been murdered. Do we know who by? Died under mysterious circumstances. She was married to the Katyuri kingdom. She did not deserve this. We will definitely remember this. Our daughter was married under the care. That means our daughter has been murdered under the care and under the banner of our ally who we're currently helping in a war. I think we would withdraw our troops immediately and would stop helping. There's something peculiar about my vassal Comitissa Domna. I honestly, I don't think we're interested. I refuse to be distracted by any women. Yeah, we've achieved far greater things here. Here we're going to withdraw our troops, our professional corps, and we're no longer going to help them. We've already ended the revolt against us. That was insanely fast, and we commanded the troops ourselves. I'm sure many would find that incredibly admirable. And Romanism's fervour has been further increased because Comitissa Domna is staunch and unimpeachable. We have victory in the other war and we can finally disband our army. So just before we end, we'll deal with this. Murder holes and priest holes. A pallid individual who looks as if she has spent her entire life skulking underground is lurking in the corner of my throne room. She's asking if we want secret passages installed. Yeah, let's get a hidden escape passage put in. I think that would best serve us. I think the other thing we'll look to do, right, is we're now an empire. We want everything here as high as we can. So I think we're going to upgrade the fashion. We're going to upgrade the food. I think we'll just put everything up a level. And we'll just try and maintain level 9. So that should be pushing us up constantly. And we'll apply this just now. We're ranked 2nd in the world. What about that, eh? So we've changed this. This should push us up. And we'll see if we can maintain level 9, level 10 consistently. My friends, though, we will end for here. And we end as a Deccan Empire. I think we'll all agree that we're looking nice. I may change the colour to a slightly darker red. I'm not sure if this is quite Roman. Perhaps even purple, dare I say. Time will be the telltale there. And my friends, we finished this episode as an emperor this time. Imperator Kylanius and we look forward to the next decisions that we must undertake as an empire. Dare I say that we start perhaps looking towards the Horn of Africa, the Arabian coast? What should be our next move? What should we be plotting out? Is now the time to start making inroads back towards the Mediterranean, see if we can get any news of Rome? I leave it to you folks, and I open the floor to suggestions. Until the next time, goodbye for now.